Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison for the murder of George Floyd. And for the first time, Derek Chauvin directly addressing the Floyd family today. ABC's Alex Perez in Minneapolis tonight.
In court today, the family of George Floyd pleading for justice. Their pain clear for all to see. Floyd's 7-year-old daughter, Gianna, the first to speak, addressing the judge on video.
We used to have dinner meals every single night before we went to bed. My daddy always used to help me brush my teeth.
Do you wish that he was still here with us?
Yeah, but he is.
Through his spirit?
Yes.
Yeah. If you could say anything to your daddy right now, what would it be?
It would be, I miss you and I love you.
Floyd's brother Terrence with a question for Derek Chauvin.
What were you thinking? What was going through your head when you had your knee on my brother's neck? Why when you knew that he posed no threat anymore, he was handcuffed, why you didn't at least get up? Why you stayed there?
The Floyd family seeking the maximum sentence.
We don't want to see no more slaps on the wrists. We've been through that already. In my community, in my culture, we've been through that already.
Chauvin had only one person in court to speak on his behalf, his mother.
The media, public, and prosecution team believe Derek to be an aggressive, heartless, and uncaring person. I can tell you that is far from the truth, and that my son is a good man.
She did not offer condolences to the Floyd family, instead speaking directly to her son.
Derek, I want you to know I have always believed in your innocence, and I will never waver from that. I will be here for you when you come home. Remember, there is no stronger bond or love than a mother's love.
Chauvin, who's also facing federal civil rights charges, then addressing the court himself.
At this time, due to some additional legal matters at hand, I'm not able to give a full formal statement at this time. But very briefly, though, I do want to give my condolences to the Floyd family. There's going to be some other information in the future that would be of interest, and I hope things will give you some peace of mind. Thank you.
Judge Peter Cahill then handing down his decision. Chauvin faced a minimum of 10 years in prison and the maximum of 40. He was sentenced to 22 and a half years behind bars.
This is based on your abuse of a position of trust and authority, and also the particular cruelty shown to George Floyd.
And David, Floyd's family saying today's decision delivers a closure and accountability. David?
Alex Perez in Minneapolis tonight. Alex, thank you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's Broadcast Houston and Friends, and I'm joined by a dope cast that we have right now. I appreciate everybody tuning in right now. And as you see on the below scrolling marquee, we want your comments. We had a lot of voting going on this particular topic, but today we're going to talk, obviously, Derek Chauvin, Juneteenth, and the Michael B. Jordan. And we're just going to talk about different things. Shout out to Perry Golston. He's talking about reparations already. So we have B. Dane, Fed Up Black Girl, Roro B. Singing, D. Savannah, and Kai Singleton. And we're going to discuss a few of these things. Everybody, let me know where you're calling from, where you watching from on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you're watching from, and let us know what you feel about this Derek Chauvin verdict, because we're going to pop it right on the screen and talk about it. I'm going to start with B. Dane. Let us know, let the people know who you are, and what's your initial reaction to the verdict.
What's up, everybody? I'm B. Dane, a digital media specialist, videography, photography, graphic design. And, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm my own podcast host on a daily basis with everybody I know. But to be honest with you, I was shut down after the verdict. You know, like I just shut down after that because I didn't feel any better. You know, after the guilty verdict, like nothing changed for me. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. I don't know how I thought I was gonna feel, but the sentencing is not the max. I didn't think it would be the max. You know, I'm happy and content knowing this man is gonna spend 15 years in jail. You know what I mean? Even though it's not enough, I'm just content that it went the way it should have went. He was guilty. He should get a good chunk of time, and that's that for me. But where's the national reform?
Yeah.
Where's the legislation? What I feel like Derek Chauvin, it just sucks to be him. You know what I mean? Like, it really sucks to be him because he was the guy on the forefront. He was the example. You know what I mean? I don't think things are different. I think he was made an example of. And now it's like either get it together, get these phones out of people. Like, we got to figure something out, but it's not, let's make it better. You know, that's not I don't feel like we're there yet. So to be honest with you, I'm indifferent.
Okay. Ruger Blaze, what was the verdict? So he was sentenced to 22 and a half years, and obviously that doesn't mean he's going to serve the whole 22 and a half.
Minnesota requires the 2/3. So he'll do 15 years unless something silly happens. And we should be upset about that. Yeah. Should that happen? You know, but 15 years he should do.
Okay. So that we're gonna get into a deep discussion. Fed Up Black Girl, you're next. Miss Fed Up Black Girl, very opinionated. Make sure you unmute your mic. What was your initial reaction, and let the people know first your background and your experience in life?
Oh, hi. I'm Fed Up Black Girl. For work, I'm a lawyer. I'm a high school debate coach. And I'm a Black liberation enthusiast. I believe first and foremost in the liberation of my people from white supremacy. So that's my intended life's purpose and goal. Everything I do is centered around that. B. Dane, I feel you on what you're saying with the verdict. I definitely understand your indifference. The best way that I've heard it said so far is that this verdict for Derek Chauvin, the guilty verdict, as well as the 22 and a half years, it is not justice. It's accountability. He, as an individual, that's why I feel you, B. Dane, when you say sucks to be him. He, as an individual, is now on the chopping block. He's having to be accountable for his actions against this one human being, his own accountability. But justice is something that is a long way to go and so far off. And to be honest, I don't know that there's anything, reparations, a complete overhaul of the justice system, housing changes. White supremacy is so evil, and it has damaged us as a community so much, and it's so pervasive and persistent. I don't know if there's anything that can be done that can be considered justice for us. I don't know that that's ever a possibility. But I do know that this is a start for holding those who use white supremacy, that those who hide behind it. This is a starting point to holding them accountable. So I do think we can hope for more accountability, but I fully think this verdict is not justice. I do think that he got what was coming to him as far as the law is concerned. He abused his authority. There were aggravating factors. That's another 10 years on top of the recommended 12.5. So I think, yes, good that he's being held accountable, but justice is still far off if it's ever attainable.
Okay. I like that. And before we go to Roro, you say you're in the legal system, correct?
Yes.
So is it the legal systems and you know, the courts, is it their burden to give us civil rights, or is the court's actual burden just to issue out, you know, the verdicts?
Yeah, that is a good question. It's interesting. I think theoretically, and this is very theoretical because we know at a foundational level, we know that we were not people when the laws and the constitutions were written. We were not considered people. It wasn't for a long time
Not a whole
when
person.
right. First, we were no one. We were just property. And then we became 3/5 of a person just for their own counting purposes, so that they could push the electoral college and get more votes and all that historically. But then we became, quote unquote, a whole person under the law. So we already know that the laws were not made for us. But that notwithstanding, I think that theoretically the system is supposed to work for everybody. Theoretically, it's supposed to be just. Theoretically, we're supposed to go in and expect justice and find justice. But in actuality, just like that judge said yesterday in the Chauvin case, he made it very clear that he felt like, and he may be right from his perspective, that it's not his job to go with people's emotions. It's not his job to base this on public opinion. It's not his job. And basically what I felt like he was saying was, look, I know this sucks for Black people. I know this happens a lot. I know, but that's not what it's my job here to do today. I'm not
Job
here to
description.
write.
Yeah.
Right. My job is not to write 500 years of historical wrong against an entire race of people. My job is to deal with this one man, and he did that. So.
Okay, good feedback. Okay, so Roro, we're going down the line now. Let everybody know your experience in life and your initial reaction to the verdict.
What's going on, you guys? Roro B. Singing, singer-songwriter from Houston. So for me with this whole situation, it's like, it's still a lose-lose. Like, we lost a life that we didn't need to lose, all just because of injustice. And then even though, okay, they gave him time, like we already know he's most likely not going to do the whole 22 and a half. And then to just really add on to it, it's still like, we can't take his life because he took another life. We can't sit here and be like, okay, well, we want all of this justice, all of this injustice. And so when I look at it, it's like, yeah, I'm with y'all. Like, I'm happy that he's getting his accountability, that they're giving him time, you know, and everything. But we don't have anything that changed from that. We don't have, like you said, we don't have reform. We don't have laws. We don't have new rules. We don't have anything that's going to sit here and be like, okay, y'all gave him time. It's, like I said, it's just like they give us little examples, little things, hoping. It makes me feel like they're hoping we'll just shut up about it just because they gave us something. Okay. That's what it makes me feel like. So, I mean, I understand, like, you know, like the judge said, you know, this is not his job for how we feel personally, how we feel and what we feel he should get. You know, he's doing what he feels he's supposed to do job-wise. So he gave us those 22 and a half years. So, I mean, it's kind of like it is what it is. I'm more so like maybe this might make cops feel a little different. You know, that's very, 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 very small. Maybe it makes, you know, cops look at certain situations different. But as you said, too, when they think about, like, instead of doing reform for us to make it safer for us, they're talking about, you know, maybe even try to push, especially with these crazy laws they have coming on now, to try to take away our phones just so they don't have to go through this again. So it's kind of just like, everything now has to be like, you know, you have to be on watch. You have to be careful. It makes me just want to go, you know, outside and put cameras on my house in every different angle, just because if anything goes down with the cop, at least I know I'm going to have visual, and they can't be like, well, we can't use your cell phone information. Okay, well, I got video. So, you know, it's kind of those kind of situations to where it's like, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's kind of lose-lose. We lost a life, and I still don't feel justly he got everything that he deserved for that.
Okay, that sounds good. Savannah, D. Savannah, I'm going to ask a different question or give some more narrative, but I want to know the same thing. Make sure you unmute. You know, is it we want the cops to, you know, at first they weren't even getting indicted, right? So should we be happy there was an indictment and a sentence, or are we like long past due for something real?
So, hello everyone. I'm D. Savannah, singer, songwriter, actress, vocal coach, and I'm all for Black people in what's going on right now. just like B Dane, I guess I'm considered a conspiracy theorist sometimes, because I don't a lot of times look at the emotions. I look at the facts too. And the facts is that, yes, we haven't had indictments. A lot of people are saying this is historic. He's gotten some type of charge. I'm all for the accountability, but at the same time, we're not seeing any different actions. We're still seeing cops shoot down Black people. We're still seeing right now more than ever, white people feel like they can try us. They can call us, niggas. They can cuss us out. They can belittle us. And it's just a blatant blanket of disrespect right now. And for me personally, how I honestly feel about it is, I feel like it's a life for a life. I feel like, listen, and walk with me for a second.
Okay, talk to us.
Because George is gone. Floyd is gone. His baby don't have a daughter anymore. His family has lost their brother, their son, and friends, all of these things like that. And Derek gets to live. If we look at what he said, there was no remorse at all. Like we've already said, it sucks to be him right now. But we still have those other cops who we don't even know what's going on with them. At least, they're not in the forefront like Derek is.
Yeah.
Still have Breonna Taylor's cops. We don't know what's going on with them. A lot of these cops are just getting fired. There's no real accountability in the sense of, I bet not do that because this is what's going to happen to me. At worst, you're going to get fired and you can maybe go on to another police department somewhere else. And so I feel like if they were to see some dire consequences from these cops just irresponsibly killing Black people, they wouldn't even think to make those same mistakes. But because they get to live, they'll be okay. There's no real accountability. So, for me personally, when this first happened, everybody was just so excited. And I was like, okay. And I knew, and it's unfortunate because I knew that it still wasn't going to amount to any justice. I knew that, okay, whatever he gets sentenced with, he's still going to be able to walk eventually, especially with good behavior because he's a cop. And I think when we look at little cases as like, okay, there's a murder charge and he gets 20 years and could be paroled in 15. We look at people like, what's his name? I can't even think of it, but it was a Black guy who was sentenced to life for stealing $9 without the possibility of parole, or even other people who are locked up right now on marijuana charges for life or more, or the exact
They're making millions on marijuana.
Why does that sentence look the same? So I'm really tired of our community having to take crumbs and having to take, oh, this was historic. No, it wasn't. This is not justice. A life is gone and another life gets to just live. And who knows how he being treated in jail. He could be having 5-star treatment up in there because he's a cop. And that's really neither here nor there. But I just really don't feel like it's justice. And I feel like I don't know. I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. I feel like Floyd deserves way more than this. I feel like Breonna Taylor deserves way more than this. And I know we're going to talk about this later, but I also feel like that's why they dangled that little Juneteenth holiday, because they knew this foolery was coming up.
Okay. Good. We're gonna do a group discussion, but Kai, I want to get your initial reaction and make sure you unmute and let everybody know what's your background in life.
Hi guys, my name is Kai Singleton. I am a registered medical assistant and I am a entrepreneur. I own a vegan cosmetic, all natural cosmetics line, Ella Sky Cosmetics, and an all natural skincare line, Skincare by Kai. So my first response to everything was, I'm honest, when I first saw the video, I'm honestly tired. I'm tired of Black people going through trauma, and I'm tired of us being pacified. When he got the sentencing to 22.5 years, initially I was happy, but when I really broke it down and looked at it, there was no justice. No matter how long he serves in prison, after those 15 years that he serves, George Floyd still isn't going to be able to walk up out his grave and still live. So I feel that, justice was not served. And to piggyback on what D. Savannah was saying, for every Derek Chauvin, we still don't have justice for Breonna Taylor. We still don't have justice for so many other people who have been wrongly killed by police. There are numerous Black people who are sitting in jail right now for a crime that's minute, and they get sentenced to 20, 30 years. where's the justice in that? I feel like it feels like when I do something wrong, or like it feels like when I do something wrong and my mom tries to like pacify me to make me feel better about the punishment I'm gonna get. That's what I feel. I feel like a child being pacified. Just you're telling me what I want to hear, but you're not really gonna change anything. That's what I honestly feel.
Go sit in timeout. You get TV. You get 3 meals, and and like the mother said, I see you when you get home. Like, good job. I see you when you get home. You know what I mean? And who knows in a person's heart? And I feel like he should have to speak more. And he said legally. People always hide behind the legal system. I think that he really owes the Black community what's on your heart. Hey, that was worth it for me. Like, what is on your heart? And I really feel like, when you have a whole legal team, you know what I mean, behind you, and the police force behind you, coaching you, say that, don't say that, and they can joke and laugh about it. I'm going to open this up before we get to Juneteenth. So I know B. Dane said she had something else to add. What was that?
My bad, little mute situation. There seems to be like this running theme, right? Like, first of all, the way Black people swallow and process is very different than the way other ethnic groups swallow and process because of our experience. That's a fact.
Okay.
If Black people weren't so used to their, little brother going to jail for 2 years because of a joint, then maybe we could appreciate a 22-year sentence.
Okay.
Or maybe we could appreciate 15 years off somebody's life. But my thing is, my brother got caught with a pistol. He wasn't doing nothing. He just got caught with a pistol. That was 2.5 years. 2.5 years. So you tell me a man that the world watched murder somebody behind the shield with the protection of that's why he did it. He felt secure. He saw a crowd and was like, I'm good because I'm a cop. Y'all could record me all day. The court ain't going, what's going, I'm sorry, this is my job. And looking away. Well, there's no equality in that. The justice system is effed up, but it's a whole lot more effed up for us than it is for anybody of any white person. You know what I mean? So maybe 22 years does justify something as in the eyes of the law, but Black people are like 20 years. We could get that in the blink of an eye for something we might not have even done. This man, so there's that thing. You know what I mean? So that affects how we swallow and process all of this. But I heard it was like back to back to back talking about the way Black people are treated in the justice system. It's like, it's laughable to ask us to appreciate anything. You know what I mean? Like, what? No. So I had to comment on that. That was just important too.
Open forum. Anybody else? The lawyer, the singer, what y'all got for me? Make sure you unmute.
I think I agree with everything that you have said, with everything that everybody has said. It's absolutely laughable. And I think I heard not a story, but an account of someone who they were just driving and they had a gun in the passenger seat, and they actually were killed by the police. So at that point, that person was a police officer. Then he wasn't a police officer because of that. They ended up pushing him to be a judge. Then he was no longer a judge. Now he's a senator. He makes the laws or things of that sort. This is the type of system that we're dealing with. And I just think it hurts my heart that we have to constantly be put in these situations like that, to where we're accepting of these bullshit laws, if you will. There's no accountability. There's no real reform. And I think of that statement that the brother, if I'm not mistaken, that David said, and he said, what was going through your mind when your knee was on my brother's neck?
Yeah.
I really wanted to hear some type of response.
We need that. I feel like that should be mandatory, that's provided. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. And with what he said, just like you said, when he was, said behind legal stuff, it's not that. It's that, just like B. Dane said, when you were sitting there with your knee on his neck, you were protected. You was fine. We all saw it happen. That's what I think is so disrespectful, we want to be honest, we all watched and saw it happen in real time. So it's not a he say, she say. It's not a, oh, well, this is just your account of it. No, like, we all saw the same thing. You sat there deliberately with your knee on his neck, not caring about what those 10 people right there were saying, not caring about what the other people in their cars honking across the street were saying, not caring about what your police officer friends were saying, if they were saying anything.
If anything.
Did exactly what you felt was right to do. And the mom coming up there saying, you know, he's furthest from whatever everybody is making him out to be. No, he's not. He is exactly what he portrayed himself to be. And I think y'all were mentioning something about the cell phones and that's going to be lawed out. Did I hear that wrong? So
it's going to be like
Oh no, I just said I just figured that was the next step. It's not,
I know
hey,
Chicago
let's get these people out of our way. You know, like that's just what it looks like.
Yeah, it very well could be that, because now think about all the things and the scenarios that we miss, or the real life situations that we miss because we didn't have camera phones then. So I'm with you on that. It could be that way. I just, at the end of the day, what this all boils down to is if there is no real accountability, and I don't mean just, and it's only accountability because it was on the camera and because we was all out in the street for months at a time, like, this needs to happen. That's
stuff got burnt down. You see what I'm saying?
You
Like,
know
this is, so if there was no camera, where would he be right now? But stuff got burnt down, and this is still what we got. And I'm not sure how much y'all know about the LA riots, like 92, when you couldn't cross through a certain point. They was killing and beating people.
And why was that? Oops, because we caught y'all on camera.
Again.
That's the string that ties it together. Like, if there's an out for these people, like the police, they take it and they stretch it. And that was I hate to say it, if we didn't have that footage, we wouldn't be having this
conversation.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's the sick truth. Like, it's the cops. Like, Derek Chauvin's mom, she might have been right. He might have been a great son. But at the end of the day, he was a cop who thought Black people's lives were lesser than that of somebody whose life is worth something. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's not pretend like, oh, America is just woken up and we're ready. No, we're not ready to take on shit. Where's the legislation? Minnesota Police Department is having an investigation. We need that shit across the board. You know, we need a national, whatever that takes. I don't know. Maybe I sound crazy saying it. This needs to be every police department, because something about that badge, when these motherfuckers put it on, something changes. You know what I mean? We don't care about your white friends. I mean, your Black friends and what you do. Fuck all that. Like, when you put that uniform on, something changes. When you go into a neighborhood where you're an outsider, something changes. And you're not serving and protecting.
You're right.
I feel that. I feel that. Just like a rapper. Like, okay, I'm at home, whatever. Once I'm on stage, you see what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'm on stage. And like a rapper, you know you must turn the crowd up. It's like, there's some type of pact or something. Once you put that badge on, maybe you're not a bigot in real life. You must become this. So why is that the truth? And
that's what we need to get to.
Well, I'm a firm believer of foundation is everything. So when I think to how police officers even came about, I think back to the slave catchers. So you may not have necessarily wanted to see Joe Blow be beat, but if you got if it's $1,000 whatever bounty on their head, you got a family to feed. So you're gonna go and make sure Joe Blow and all the other Black people that's trying to get away, that they are caught and brought to justice. And so the foundation of it is that is what this was originally for. So while I'm all for legislation, I'm all for laws. I'm a firm believer in reality too, and that this country, the laws, the system of it is very Babylonian. And so with that being said, it's never going to look like what we want it to look like. We can sit and talk to the mayors, to the judges, to the police officers. This is their way of making money, like you said. And so I really, tell me if I'm wrong, I really feel that we aren't going to get change until shit starts burning down. Cops start down. You want to kill us, then one of yours is gone. I know that sounds very radical. I've been told I'm very radical, but that just seems like that's the only thing that's going to change for real.
But honestly, it astonishes me how, I'm sorry, I got to say white people, how they get mad at us for being so frustrated that we get to a point of burning their stuff down. But it's like, and then they expect us to like, I guess, like you said, we're so used to the fact of the matter of being abused, and especially like when you look at our other generations before us. And it was a conversation that I even had to have with my mother to get her to understand these generations that are coming now don't tolerate
They ain't
what y'all
playing that.
tolerate.
They don't.
They don't want to deal with what y'all dealt with. They have their mentality of, I'm going to live my life and I'm going to live my best life. And if you're going to get in front of my best life, then I'm going to have to tear you down. And it's like, I feel like you have, and it's even funny because I sit there and I talk with other races and stuff like that to, so we all have our conversations and our understandings. And it's like the generations that are coming younger, they're looking into the history. They're able to get that access of what they did with slavery, how they treated Black people. Like how right now we're dealing with the whole vaccine situation to where half of the whole society, the whole population does not want to get it because of what they know from experience, from the past, from all the different things like that. And then they expect us to just sit here and take what they get, take all the abuse, take everything, and then get mad at us because, okay, now we're retaliating. Now we're burning down places. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, when I found out Little Minnesota went crazy and started burning up stuff, I already knew, like, now that's getting to a point to where now we're basically trying to say, okay, we can sit here and fight, we can sit here and argue, we can sit here and vote, we can sit here and do all of this stuff, but you're not showing us change. And I agree with you, it's going to get to a point to where, I don't want to say like a civil war, I don't want to say anything like that, but you're going to get to a point to where out of nowhere, we're going to start seeing, okay, these little small cities get mad, or these even bigger cities get to a point to where they get so mad, now you're going to see police stations burnt. We're going to end up waking up one day and let something this big happen again that everybody gets so fed up, the whole Galleria area is on fire. Yeah. Or a situation like that. And it's going to be to where I had to get my mom to explain to like understand, like, your generation, y'all put up with it. Y'all accepted these itty bitty little things that they did for change. And it honestly didn't mean anything. I'm like, we're more educated now. We have more access to stuff to be educated on knowing what's right, what's wrong, changes, repeats in history, different things like that. And it's like, we're teaching our children, hey, be aware of this, be aware of that. This isn't how you should treat people. This is how you should be treated. You're a king, you're a queen. So their mindset now is like, I'm not going to accept all the drama and stuff that y'all had when I feel like I can be rich, I can be famous, I can be safe, I can do this. I'm not going to, a lot of the generation that's younger than me that I talk with, they don't want to tolerate any of it. They are ready to go and burn down something.
Yeah, they're definitely rebels. They're definitely rebels.
Now you're seeing, what I'm saying now, and it's like I feel like, when it comes to the police, when it comes to all of that, you have to think, a lot of that is people that's been there for years, that's been there, since before I was born, that's been a part of this whole system. And their mindset is, well, we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing because it's been working. But slowly but surely, what they're doing is starting. I feel like it's not all the way there to hit like what they're trying to do or what they used to do to just, try to quiet us and shut us up. Is like in their mind frame, they're still thinking that's going to work for us. And slowly but surely, we're starting to, come out and really show like, you can do this and you can do that. That's not going to do a damn thing.
And social media is one of those things too. I want to go to Fed Up Black Girl. She hadn't spoke yet, and I want you to close out the whole Derek Chauvin thing, and then we want to get into Juneteenth and, like you all were just saying, pacification and what that really means and everything. So Fed Up Black Girl, unmute and just give us some, from the. And I didn't know you were a lawyer, but what I'm saying, give us some, some tidbits on the legal system and how you see us changing all of this.
I would love to. So I've been listening for a while, and I guess on that note with the legal system, there is a quote, I'm sure you guys have all heard it. I'm going to read it to make sure I don't miss a word. We attribute it to Langston Hughes, and it's Negroes, sweet and docile, meek, humble, and kind. Beware the day they change their minds. And so for me, when I hear y'all's frustration, when I hear my own frustration, my family, the Third Ward community where I'm from, when I hear I'm from Third Ward, I hear about the new generation and how they're, you know, rebellious and how for me, that makes me think that we've changed our minds. And not that we were ever so docile, because we know that our ancestors, many of them killed white people, many of them killed their slave owners, many of them escaped from slavery, or many of them lost their lives. Many of them jumped off the ships in the Middle Passage because they would rather die than go somewhere with strange white people in bondage. And so I think that we are reaching a point in the trajectory of our lives in this country where people are fed up. And so when we talk about the legal system and reform, for me, in my personal and professional opinion, I don't give any hope of reform to the legal system. I don't think that there's any way to work within the system that we have and achieve any sort of justice, anything good for Black people. As I'm sure you guys have heard it said and probably said yourself, and right along with what Dee Savannah was saying, the system works exactly like it was supposed to. Everything that is working against us is working against us because it was not created for us, and it was created to work against us and to hold us down. And so with that being said, I think that the only way that we can achieve any sort of progress is to completely tear down and rebuild what is here. I don't think that there's any hope in policing. I don't think there's any hope in criminal justice. As I said, I'm also a teacher. I don't think there's any hope in education. I think that all of the systems that, even back to what Roro B. Singin said about the hospital system, Henrietta Lacks, the Tuskegee experiment, all of that's historical, the way we were treated. I think all of the systems that are in place are white supremacists, are a part of the colonial capitalist patriarchy, and all of that is there to hold us down. So there's no way that we can progress within the system. There's no way that we can grow within the system. We have to have something completely fresh, something completely new, and Blackness has to be at the center. If we're not at the center, then we're going to get pushed to the margins and we're going to be mistreated. So
can that happen without war?
No, I don't think.
That's like segregation to me, honey. Black people.
I don't think it can happen without war. I think that there's going to be some sort of a war. There's going to be some sort of a fight. Now, does that look like taking arms up and fighting with each other with guns? And I don't know. But I do think that there has to be some sort of violent struggle. And I think we see it starting. We see it.
I think we're going to start seeing people attack police. Like, we're already seeing them do it, but I think it's going to get to a point to where let these situations keep happening. Let it be another Breonna Taylor. Let it be another George Floyd.
Well, you know, they have the Dallas sniper, right?
I'm walking down the street and a police officer doesn't even just runs up to me and shoots me just because. I feel like it's going to get to that point before. It'll get to a point to where I feel like it's going to scare them. Because if we're going to be brave enough now to take on the people that's taking us out, then they're going to have to make a situation to be like, okay, now we're going to have to hold up and wait. Because when you try to bring in the military, it's like they can't bring in the military because they have to remember and forget that a lot of the people in the military are people that are Black or Hispanic or Asian, because of the fact of the matter where their situation is. A lot of the military got them out of their bad situation. So you can't really
and see
just
that's going to be.
And they already know you can't really just go to the military and then say, well, we want you to take them down, because a lot of them is their family being mistreated. And then a lot of the military, when they're getting out, they're already going through their struggles and their issues because they're also being mistreated.
Did you all see the Five Bloods? Did you see the Five Bloods on Netflix?
I have not, and
it's again. So they were and RP to Chadwick Boseman. He was in, and so they were fighting that battle with everything on Martin Luther King and everything going on, but they're overseas fighting. You see what I'm saying? America's battle. And anyway, that's a good one. Anybody hadn't seen Five Bloods before, so RP Chadwick Boseman. But the whole thing is, it's money. Money is power, right? So if I can pay you an amount of money to enact martial law in the place where you came from, And it's happening all over the globe. You either work for the government, the military, or you're in poverty. And you know, it's gonna be interesting. But let's flip this. That could be another great, maybe part 2 conversation. Juneteenth, I want to get everybody's it's a holiday. Juneteenth itself was delayed, and now the Juneteenth holiday just came on, but and it's Pride Month, right? And I just came from Mississippi filming the show in New Orleans. I didn't even know it was Black Music Month in June, but you know, now you have June. Yeah, didn't even know, right? You know what I'm saying? Now,
Whose
okay,
idea was it to put Black Music Month and Pride together? See, this is why we have the problems we be having. You know, we can't get on one accord about nothing.
You know, and you know, they're just handing out, they're just handing out things, and you know, Sandra Bland Boulevard, I'm from Prairie View graduate, and you know, they give you a day, they give you a street, you know, hey, memorial, and you know, burn some candles and release some balloons, and you know, go about your day. Just forget about it, make your money, and you know, have your sex, listen to your music, and forget about it. And that, though it does not stop the frontline soldiers that's really about this, we need the masses, we need other races. And I mean, we probably could have did some more Asian hate and how big that is right now, when, like you said, they took insurance out on slaves, threw them over the ship because they, you know what I mean, would get an insurance check for the slave. And it's just different for us, you know what I mean? But anyway, this Savannah's laughing, but you know, I'm the moderator, right? So I just had to get a little bit off my chest. But at the end of the day, how do y'all feel about Juneteenth, the holiday? Is it pacification? Is it one step closer to where we need to get to?
Okay.
It is completely pacification. I mean, if you really want to, I mean, I don't feel better about Juneteenth being a holiday because I'm going to celebrate it the way I've been celebrating for years. I'm still going to support my Black-owned businesses. I've actually had a situation where I had to tell somebody I didn't want them supporting my own personal Black business because they made some comments about Black people. The person was essentially an Uncle Tom, and I told them, if you feel this way about Black people, I don't want you supporting my company. But I'm still going to, people like that, I'm not going to support them, but I'm still going to support Black businesses that want to pour back into the Black community. So I'm still going to do everything I was doing. But I mean, I still feel like I feel pacified. Like, I feel like when I was a baby, when I was crying and my mom would stick the pacifier in my mouth to make me feel better, that's how I feel. Stick this in your mouth, take this holiday.
Literally.
I mean, that's how I feel. And then to piggyback on what they were saying about like the working in like the healthcare system, I do feel sometimes like I am behind enemy lines because I work in OBGYN, and there's a lot of Black women who are not being heard and are essentially dying because our concerns aren't being heard, and that's a heavy burden to bear. But I always tell my patients that I'm an advocate for you before I'm an advocate for the hospital that I work for. But I just had to say that.
Okay. What's up, Elijah Watkins? She's a fellow, you know, broadcast Houston. What's up, everybody that's tuned in? Definitely give us your comments. What do y'all think about the Juneteenth holiday? We got like 1,000, you know what I'm saying, comments and everything, and on the voting. Give me somebody else. B. Dane, what do you feel about the Juneteenth holiday?
She hit the nail on the head. I think it's pacification at its finest, especially with the social climate being what it is right now. Some stuff just seems like a slap in the face. You know what I mean? Like, and we were talking about the generational differences. Like, Black people have had an evolution generationally since we got here. Every generation has had a different trauma, a different struggle, been working on a different problem. You know what I mean? Like, so our grandparents like taught our parents, go to school, get a job, integrate.
There you go.
After desegregation, which our great grandparents and grandparents did not support. You know what I mean? Integration. We were good having our own school, our own hospital, our own bank, and then when we tried to do that and establish it, Black Wall Street, they burned it to the ground. They shut us down completely. So my thing is, we don't even know what's ahead of us. You know what I mean? I don't think we even, what do we do? What do we do together? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell are we going to come up with? Because these podcasts are way more than the generations before us were even allowed to do. And we got all this information. Yeah. So something like Juneteenth to us is like, for what? What are we not killing niggas on Juneteenth? You know what I mean? Like, what happens on Juneteenth that's so special? You know what I mean? We always do that. What happens? Supporting Black business, that's a 365 task. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What not give us money, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't give us nothing but our rights. We got everything else. We're the ones who are appropriated half the time. We're the ones making everybody rich. Put our celebrities put things on and make it cool. You know what I mean? You need our dollar. Our dollar makes everybody rich but us. So my thing is, it doesn't mean much. There's always so much to say, but it doesn't mean much.
Yeah,
Juneteenth.
So
that was a late day anyway. It was late. Slavery wasn't it? That ain't even the day it happened.
That was late.
That's the day 3 years later that Texas said, okay, we on.
You just said something that I'm gonna let Savannah go next, but on the Black dollar, right? And so if we're going and really what Kai said as well. So you support racist companies financially. So what I would say to that bigot that wants to support you, take that dollar and make sure you take that dollar and do something better, because that's what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? You behind enemy like your support. We all 6 of us have supported a bigot-based business, and so we can't exclude other races from our buy Black. We're just circulating, but we got to put some more money into that circulation to make it bigger. Second thing, dang, before I go to Daria, basically, if we say, hey, we're going to physically, financially support a company, and you say, what do we want on Juneteenth? Well, we're just like a board of directors. Hey, you have 10% Black employees. Hey, we want 40% Black employees, and see these unions or whatever. Hey, we're going to remove our money. See, I don't want to go too deep, but if you really, Martin Luther King and why he really got killed, and when I Had a Dream speech, it was a speech right before that to where he was called, I think it was Coca-Cola, some big company. He said, hey, we're going to pull our money out and we're going to put it in this black bank over here. And so after that, that's when he really got killed. And they want to make you think I had a dream. No, it was not that. He was getting,
Black people know that.
He had just said, I think Elijah Muhammad, he had just said, like, he was about to, the Muslim, you see what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, that's what it is. If we're spending we have ownership in this company, we want 50% Black employees. Don't give me a commercial. Don't give me a commercial saying Black Lives Matter. Don't give us nothing on the court, NBA. Don't give us nothing. Don't kneel now. You see what I'm saying? We want TV crews. We want the boys is wiping down the floor.
We need something very important to do that. Unification. We can't seem to get that right. We can't seem to get Black people to, not some of us, the bulk of us. Right. That has to be tight. And we can't seem to do that. We cannot seem to do that. So my thing is, look, maybe this day and age, like, we do have the power, but it's spread so far from any of our reach that it does not matter. And that's what white people know.
They divided us.
Black people, we could own the hair industry.
Yeah.
Take the most elite hair ladies of America, take your ass to Asia, go to India, wherever the hell they're doing this hair, and say, we're not buying no more unless. That's what Dick Gregory said. Take your ass over there. We're 90% of the money you're getting. We want some. We're not asking you. We're taking some, or you won't have.
We have buying power. We're not using buying power. We're not leveraging buying power. Kyle, we'll let you go, but I cut Savannah off. Savannah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Savannah.
Oh, you hit it right on the head. But as far as Juneteenth and what that is, I've always been like, okay, yeah, I'm all for Juneteenth. But actually, this year I learned that Juneteenth is really a Southern thing. Most specifically, it's really a Texas thing. Even more specifically, a Houston, Galveston thing. And Juneteenth is really just Oh, we've been free. Y'all ain't know y'all was free. It's been 2 years. Oh, okay. Well, y'all free. Why are we why are we celebrating it? And I get that it's a day for us. Like you said, we gonna barbecue. We gonna get together. We gonna be outside. We gonna get with our family. That's a given. That's just what.
Some people still gotta work. Some people don't even get off.
And if you're gonna do it like that, okay, y'all can have it as a holiday. All the Black people is off. Everybody else has to work. You know, if you're going to do something that's going to be for Black people, let it be just for Black people. Don't let the other person who don't even believe it should be a holiday. One of my friends said, they was like, oh, well, our boss is giving us off. He's not really for it, but okay, then let his ass go to work and y'all get off. If you're going to do something for the Black community, let it be just for the Black community. But see, they don't want to do that, because in that, then we'll start seeing, okay, well, if it's just us, we really can do this. We really can open this. We really can start this. And it's going to slowly get back to some type of segregation thing, even with what Kai was saying. When she was saying how somebody had a mindset and it was like, oh, I don't want you to be a part of my business. If we have that mentality on other levels, and I know what you were saying as far as let them bring their money in and we take it and do our thing with it, but even just outside of that, I seen another event where it was I believe it was a pride event, but it was put on by Black and brown people, and the white people that wanted to come had to pay $50 to get in. You want to be part of our stuff with whatever it is, you're not welcome. This is for us, but since you want to be here so bad, go ahead and run that money. Exactly. They were saying like getting their reparations or whatever, but tax. What I've learned now is I am all for Black people doing their own thing, our own schools, our own hospitals, our own businesses, just like Black Wall Street. Understandably, they hate that, just like with MLK. They hated that when he got to talking about, I fear that I've led my people into a burning building. Then they killed him. You know what I'm saying? But that's where it's going to have to go. And as scary as that is, that's what's going to get their attention, is when we start doing things our own, and in our own way. So Juneteenth is cool. That's cute that it's a national holiday. Let everybody be off. If it's really a holiday, I don't know, like if the banks and stuff was closed, but if that's what y'all gonna do it for real. Do it for real. But also go ahead and throw some laws in there. But again, like Fed Up Black Girl said, they're not really finna give us too much, because that's not what it was intended to do. So,
for sure. We got, so we have at 2:00, we're gonna talk about like Tory Lanez and everything. Y'all make sure y'all tap into that. Roro, I'm gonna let you go, and then Fed Up Black, she's like our closer, right? She knows how to put the thing, read quotes and everything.
Our academic, baby.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Definitely got it. All y'all come back, but definitely Fed Up Black Girl, we need that. Roro, Juneteenth.
Okay, so
I want
for
to
me,
state something real quick after she's done.
Okay, go ahead. Then we'll close out with Fed Up.
Juneteenth, the only reason why I celebrated is because it's my birthday. I appreciate them making it a holiday.
Happy birthday.
So that just makes my birthday a little more special. But at the end of the day, I can still get shot just because of the color of my skin. So when it comes to it, it's just like I said before, you're just throwing something at us to hope that it's gonna make us shut up. Like you see us now, I feel like they did it more now, and this will go into the whole Michael B. Jordan thing situation we're gonna talk about too. But I feel like it's just, okay, now you see us doing a lot of pop-up shops, like and stuff, and supporting Black businesses. Like I even run pop-up shops 3 times out the month just to get all of the people I know that have businesses out to be in front of places. And I feel like they're looking at, okay, well, Black people are trying to be a little more independent now. Black people are trying to be a little more outstanding, a little more outspoken, a little more, important. And I feel like how I say it is how they believe it. Like, that's how they look at it. Like, they're just trying to do something. They just need a little attention. They just need this and this. So they're just like, you know what? This day is coming up. Boom. Let's just give them June 19th. Now, unfortunately, I do know that there's a lot of Black people who don't understand that when we got the whole Juneteenth, it was late. They came to us super late. They didn't tell us nothing until years later. I'm like, but the way they received that education for that particular day, it was flawed. Just like, right now they're trying to take stuff out of the education for slavery and all that because it's negative history. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, all history is negative history. You had to kill somebody to take the land. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like when it comes to giving us that, that's just another little, like, that's like those little rinky dink awards you got for trying in high school. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, it's
Okay.
nothing important. It's nothing that's going to be, I mean, it's important to me because it's my day, but it's nothing important realistically because it's not a law. It's just another thing you're trying to give Black people. Like, okay, you gave us Black History Month, but then we were like, okay, that month is short. So then you're like, okay, well, you know, now we got the whole Black Lives Matter thing, and we done gave him a little arrest and, you know, this and this and this and that. Okay, that should shut y'all up. We're still not shutting up. Then it's like, okay, well, you know, now they're out here support Black businesses. That's a whole big thing. And, you know, they're up here trying to abolish slavery from the school, but then want to sit here and bring us out a whole holiday about technically tied into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there looking at them like, okay, so you're not doing anything. You're just, I'm like, what? That's like giving me a little fake tattoo to put on my arm and be like, eventually it's gonna wipe away. You're not gonna worry about it. You
That's
know?
a good analogy. That's a real good analogy. We got 5 minutes left. I'm gonna go to Kai, and then I'm gonna. But shout out to Black Equity Talks. He gave us some facts. Also, Texas wasn't trying to free the slaves in 1863 because slavery was still legal in Delaware and Kentucky. Kai, what did you have to add?
Well, when I was speaking with my pastor, you know, people like to say that, you know, the civil rights movement is just so far gone from us. But I mean, my mother was born in 1964, and I had patients that remember when it was like a black water fountain and a white water fountain. So when I had this conversation with my pastor, he said integration was one of the worst things that ever happened to us as Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, why would you say that? He was like, because everybody looked out for each other. He said, when you acted up in school, you got what by the teacher, you got what by the neighbor, and then when your parents got home, they really got you. Everybody looked out for each other. But when we start to try to be a part of the white community, that's when things broke down. That's why there wasn't a second Black Wall Street, because they did rebuild the Black Wall Street. But when they started integrating into other white communities after they rebuilt it, that's why it wasn't successful as the first one. So I feel like if we really, really got if we came together like how we came together doing the electric slide, we would be unstoppable. But because you have so many Uncle Toms, like the person that wanted to support my company that I told no, we just can't get there.
Okay, sounds good. Now the closer, fed up Black girl. You listen to everyone. She be patient, y'all. She's very, very patient. You know what I mean? Make sure you unmute. And what do you have to say?
Well, first I want to say is that I'm all still learning this myself, but I tell my students the best part of communication is learning how to listen. And so I try to work on that. I've listened to all of you. I think everything is just so beautiful, so smart, such brilliant minds that everybody here has. It's kind of intimidating, but it's also beautiful. But I think that Roro hit the nail on the head when she said that they are banning certain teachings in school, but also Juneteenth is now a federal holiday. I think that that is the most contradictory thing. We have numerous states back to back to back, these white lawmakers banning the teaching of critical race theory when they don't even know what critical race theory is. They've never read a book. They don't understand it. They don't know anything about it, but they're banning it because their constituents say that it could be negative, it could be dangerous. And essentially, critical race theory ties right in with Juneteenth because it's literally saying that because of slavery, because of all of these systems that we have that are, all of these institutions that are racist are because that are linked back to slavery. And so everything that we are enduring as a people that is negative, that is of a white supremacist nature, we can trace it back to its origins in slavery and the way that we were treated. And just shows why we're not on a level playing field. So for many states to be banning that teaching and for the federal government to not even speak out about it, and for our very own Black HBCU graduated vice president to say that the United States of America is not racist, when in a debate she sat and argued with the current president and said that she was so deeply offended by him working with segregationists or even himself being a segregationist, And she was so offended by that. But now that she's in a position of greater power, now she says that the United States is not racist. And so that type of gaslighting is present in everything, in all of our systems. So we just have to continue to read, as B. Dane said, continue to stay unified, and rise up as leaders for this generation and the next generation to push ourselves forward.
I appreciate each one of you for coming on. I mean, it's been an hour. I know it doesn't even feel like it. Savannah was like, how long is it going to be? I know when the conversations get good. I want to have everybody go onto the Broadcast Houston channel. Fed Up Black Girl, you just tapped on something Malcolm X said a long time ago about how celebrities or people of power are I don't know what goes on behind there. You know, we doing pretty good on YouTube, but I'm far from the Illuminati, right? But there's a pact. It's unspoken or spoken or whatever they do behind closed doors or whatever. And there's an agenda. I tell people to Google the 25-point plan, Adam Weishaupt, and you know, there is an agenda, and everything that's put down in writing was once discussed amongst men and not the creator, and it's been put into history, and some history isn't true. And you look at Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying, and Christopher Columbus and things like that, and how they I don't like the term whitewash, but you know the real story about the Indians, and you know what you're taught from elementary. And self-education is the only education. And again, I just appreciate each one of y'all. Like, we got to come back. We got to do it again. Please do not be a stranger. I appreciate everybody for tapping in right now. We're going live at 2 o'clock again about some other issues. If y'all want to tap in, y'all can. I'll send y'all the link. You know, it's more celebrity news, but it's how we deal with each other. You know what I mean? With the whole DaBaby, Megan Thee Stallion, and everything. But this is Broadcast Houston and friends. Follow us everywhere. Each one of y'all, tell everybody where they can follow you. Start B. Dane and go down the line.
All right, y'all can go follow me at Dane.media. I'm gonna have to make me a little podcast page now.
Hey.
But Dane.media. Go ahead and follow me. And y'all go follow me too, so I can follow you guys back.
Fed Up Black Girl, make sure you unmute.
Yes, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's Black Girl Fed Up. So Fed Up Black Girl Fed Up. Look for me. I'll look forward. I'll accept your request.
For sure. Roro.
What's going on, you guys? Y'all can follow me at on Instagram and on Twitter, and it's RORO_ the letter B SANGING. So that is Roro_ B Sangin.
For sure. Savannah.
What it do? It's your daily dose with D. Y'all can follow me at It's D Savannah. So include the It's ITS D as in dog D Savannah.
Oh, she got a song called Young, Gifted, and Black. If y'all love this discussion, y'all gotta check it out.
It's a great song. It's so good.
Thank you so much. Y'all go run it.
For sure. Kai.
You can follow my cosmetics line on Instagram, Ella_Sky Cosmetics, ELLA_Sky SKY Cosmetics, and then also have Skincare by Kai, SKINKARE by KY on Instagram and Facebook.
Sounds good. Y'all know we tapped in for life. We're going to do the honors again this November. I'm putting everything together for all of Black women empowerment and small businesses. So it's Broadcast Houston and friends. Until next time, man, we out. Appreciate y'all.